Peer pressure.
That's a good question. That's a great question. What is peer pressure to you? I can't really honestly say that I I know what peer pressure than anyone else. I know it more than anyone else. Peer pressure to me is it's rejection. A lot of people feel like joining the crowd and being someone that they're not will make themselves not only feel better but look better. I can't honestly agree with everything. I can't honestly agree with that. Peer pressure does suck. Rejection. Feeling lost in a cycle that you never understood why that cycle happened. I mean, it's pretty clear at this point. Anyone past high school had to went through peer pressure. It doesn't even matter if you weren't the kid that wasn't always bullied. I divide peer pressure into two parts. The first part is acceptance. The second part is rejection. The first part, it's clear. And you see a kid growing up in a family. You see joy. You see happiness. They're learning, they're growing, they're slowly gaining the truth and the knowledge of this world. But kids are kids. No matter where you twist it, one day they're gonna know the truth. But one thing that's essential to a kid growing up is finding the truth and knowing the truth. As a kid, you just want to feel accepted. No matter what happened, you wanted to be happy 24/7. You wanted to feel that acceptance. Imagine that happy kid wanting to feel acceptance goes to school. Long story short, that kid grew up in a family, grew up in something that all they knew was a certain this. So when they go to school and they try to find that certain that, most of the time they're influenced by other kids. Other kids are cocky, angry. Some people see that and follow that. And whether those people accept him, he might turn into one of them. But when you get rejected, it's the exact opposite. No one's looking for the cocky, arrogant kid. Deep down, they're just looking for acceptance. Peer pressure to me is it's like the vaccine, the flu vaccine. Essentially, you inject a vaccine to cure all your problems. But what you didn't realize is that vaccine is injecting the same problem into you to fix another problem. Yep, the flu is injected in your veins. It's a good thing and a bad thing. You can learn from it. It gives you more awareness to people who you hang out with. but it can also hurt you. What do you mean by drugs and violence? You mean like just...
Basically how it correlates with peer pressure and everything, you know?
Okay, alright. Um, yeah, drugs and violence is like... It does seem like it always evolves. That there's just always like that object that's always in place of every main problem. I've never taken any drugs, and if that's something you want to know, I've never taken any drugs. No weed, no pills, no alcohol, none of that. I've never really partaken in any own violence. I was always the one that was... I thought I was gonna be up for it, but sometimes when you get to that moment to do it, you hesitate, and I never was confrontational. I feel like I'm only confrontational when shit hits the fan, apparently. I have no choice. But from what my experience with these two things is, it just never ends well. You know what I mean? It just never seems to end well. I always knew people who did do drugs. I always knew people who were always in fights. The most I've ever been in a fight was... I had a best friend in Florida. I don't know, we were arguing and we were like at the pool. And then it turned into like a situation where I didn't want to be. I think I almost drowned, to be honest. But I have been around people who all they smoke weed, but I never partaken in it. And it's not bad. It's just, I feel like it doesn't feel natural to me to inhale something that's not natural to the human body. And I feel like people want acceptance. People want to feel good, you know? If everyone else does it, why can't I do it? It's not like because I understand, you know, some people do it to relax, deal off stress, you know. There's so many keys to it that, hey, that's them, I'm not gonna knock them. I always thought drugs, and even if it involves with physical problems, I always thought it was always self-hate doing these things because the people around you do them. I always thought it was self-hate. You couldn't be natural to who you really are. So you have to do this just to make yourself feel better. Just so you can look in the eyes. So just so you can be in their eyesight as a good to them. Everyone does it, you know. It's not like I'm gonna come out here and preach non-drug violence. But you know, it happens. It's just a part of human nature. There can't be good without bad in this world, ever. I just want to let you know that I'm not here to preach to you. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. But you gotta understand, nobody cares about you. Those people that you're trying so hard to impress, they don't care about you. Understand this. The only person that cares about you is you. So make it like that. Don't let someone else make you into something you're not. yeah. I have a lot of past experiences, obviously. Who doesn't, you know? This is one thing that I will I'll expose to myself that I didn't expose to anyone. I used to lie a lot. I'm pretty sure everyone has lied in their pastime. It's only human, you know? But I would lie to the point where some of the stuff would just be exaggerated with the lies, and it would get to the point where I only do it just to boost myself, put on a facade that I'm this, but I'm not really that at all. I remember I used to live in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Yes, I'm exposing where I live. I obviously, being a kid, you always try to fit in. I remember I was in the bus and I would always hang out with the kids that talked about video games. And we would talk, and then they'll be like, yo, you got an Xbox 360? Because that was the wave back then. It was just playing the Xbox 360. You got Minecraft on it. And I would be straight honest and be like, yeah, I got it. When I really didn't. And I felt like, for some reason, I don't know why, just off of my past experiences, if I didn't say, no, I don't have Minecraft Xbox 360, I felt like they would have rejected me. Make me feel useless and incompetent to their matters. I felt like I wouldn't be accepted. So I lied. They would say so many terms that I wouldn't even know about it, but I just said, yeah. I remember when I used to live in Georgia, I would hang out with a group of black kids way over my level. One black kid was like popular one. He was fit. He was buff. That dude just, I can tell he gets all the girls and shit. It was just, dude looked like a celebrity in the streets, in the school halls, you know. And then I would hang out with someone who was kind of like me. He was only trying to fit in. Then I would hang out with another dude that was only trying to fit in. So apparently, the dude that I hanged out with that was all popular, we all combined and we were all just fake buddies. And I say that because we all knew damn well we're not gonna talk to each other after school. We weren't gonna call each other. We don't have our phone numbers. We don't really care. We're only doing this because we're at school and we ain't got no other friends. The dude who was popular didn't really care because he had his friends. I don't know, there's just something about him that where he didn't care if he hanged out with losers like us. And so, you know, I was probably the most ugliest one, the most fattest one, you know what I mean? But I felt like since I was black and they were black, I felt like I was cool. Just for a small bit. And so we would go in, we talk to each other, and the main reason that made me realize this is not my friends was when they'll make fun of me, they'll roast me, and I get it. It's pretty popular in black culture, you know. You know, sometimes you'll make fun of each other and stuff, roast each other. I mean, that's just typical. I wasn't real too fond of it. It was when I realized I couldn't talk to them as friends. I can only talk to them about other stuff that people talked about to make myself look cool. I remember I used to wear Shaq shoes, orange, red Shaq shoes. I'd walk in and everybody would roast me and call them quacks. And you can laugh. They were definitely, it was definitely funny. But I thought they were cool looking. So I thought maybe everyone else was gonna think it was cool, but apparently not. And when I walked in and I get roasted in class, I see my so-called buddies roasting me too. Then I remember I walk in, go find my seat and try to talk to them. And he'd be like, "Hey, yo, what's up?" And he's like, "Ew, don't talk to me, quackers." And they will laugh. Man, obviously I'm not trying to act like the school shooter type kid that, oh, now I'm gonna shoot them up and like, no. I'm not trying to give you guys those vibes. I just sharing you my experience. Well, it just felt like I was only trying to be like them instead of being myself. Who am I to think that I'm gonna wear Shaq shoes or try to wear the best J's on my feet, try to get a haircut, wear the nicest clothes, and act like I'm fresh? Who am I to really think that when I'm not? In the end of all of that, I learned that no one cares. No one cares about you other than yourself. I feel like I kind of wrapped it up, but I guess if you're listening to this, first of all, I want to say thank you. Most of y'all that are listening to this have no idea what this series is. If you guys want to watch episode 1, I'll have the link. I'll probably have a in screen of the playlist at the end of the video, and I'll also have a link in the description if you want to watch episode 1 and watch all the episodes. But it's a series, just me talking about topics and answering questions about stuff that are serious in this world. It's like a mini podcast, I like to say. But in conclusion to all of this, peer pressure, you're gonna go through it. No matter how you turn it, twist it, it's always there. Everyone has to go through it. It's all about what you get from it when you go through it. Sometimes you can learn from fails. Let's say you were the asshole that peer pressured people, and you were the bully. Now you barely passed high school and got your diploma. Now you're working at a convenience store for the rest of your life. Well, those bullies you bullied and peer pressured are celebrities making 7-figure income you never thought you wouldn't even see them do. And you're stuck in life, smoking cigarettes, smoking your life away. Even to them, you have to understand that sometimes these things suck. You go through them and you feel like crap. But don't think that because you don't do this, you're not accepted. That little example right there is one thing. It don't matter how many people make you feel like shit. You go through life and you hate your life. You have to understand that's just a phase and a moment and a time period. At the end of it all, this doesn't mean your life is over. You take one L doesn't mean your life is over. I personally believe that God puts us in these moments so we can learn from these moments. Why do you think there's always bad and good in this world? We can learn from the bad to get a better good. You can't take a W without taking an L. Can't beat the enemy until you are the enemy and you learn exploits from the enemy. Just understand that you don't need to smoke, you don't need to drink to feel accepted. You don't need to bleach your skin. You don't need implants. You don't need a ginger change. You don't need a gender change. You don't need a new hairstyle. You don't need a wig to feel accepted. You don't need to do that for anyone else. Only for yourself. Don't follow people. The only person that you need to appease for, the only person you need to please is yourself. First, and always first. No one else.